Kurtosis.
Tasteless.
Are you ready? We're actually about to see the final game between these two guys that's so close. They're so good. And again, this could have been the GSL finals. This might as well be.
This is so important, and they are both trying so hard. It's funny, though, because MVP walked by, he was smiling and laughing and stuff. He's
we were in the lobby talking.
Yeah. And
he's like, hi, guys.
They both, when you look at them in the booth, they have the most serious faces on, because this is almost for $50,000. Whoever wins this, I mean, you think someone's... Hold on. Do you think someone's going to beat one of these guys? Really? I might as well just step on this nerd's face that's talking me through.
I know, man.
Like,
what a cocky nerd.
He's like, Supernova can do it. I'm like, well, maybe he can, but maybe he can't.
Dude, NesTea is so good. I can't believe... MVP, it's like... He's in, like, this impossible scenario. Like, I'm looking at what the NesTea is doing, and I'm like, well, I don't know if you can stop that.
They're both so impossibly good.
Yeah.
It, like, doesn't make sense at all.
I feel like this is StarCraft 2 in the future when everybody suddenly figured it out. Oh, and by the way, guys, apparently we just got told to us that NesTea, because he was lacking some intel with the Hellions and stuff, actually thought that MVP was probably going to switch into Bio, which is why he got those investors.
I thought it was kick-ass against
I thought it was great, actually. But he's like, all right, he was actually probably going to go to the route otherwise.
Here we
NesTea
go.
looking a little bit tense, MVP looking a little bit serious as the game is loading. The two best players, hands down, no question, in the world, facing off early on here. Well, I guess not actually that early on. They're facing off in the middle of the tournament here, the GSL Codes. Whoever's going to win may very well win the whole thing. MVP, untouchable Terran, NesTea, the perfect Zerg. Let's go. And thank you to our sponsors. In the bottom center starting location, we have the Game Genie Terran.
I am MVP.
There he is.
The Terran everybody studies.
That is right.
Now, in a very close starting location, Professor T, the perfect Zerg.
I am nasty.
All right, well, they're in very close proximity. That's not going to be as good for NesTea. Ideally, NesTea would want to be in cross spots.
Drops could come very quickly, but at the same time, don't forget, mutas can counter very quickly as well. So we're probably going to see a lot of that, unless this game ends in some anticlimactic timing push. The games normally are more quick. They're quicker in these positions than if they were cross spots, because it is so quick to just go up that side. Your opponent will have to run around the entire map.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, MVP can do anything. He
can actually do anything.
Yeah.
He can actually turn his gateways, his barracks into warp gates.
Yeah. Sometimes he just decides to warp in Marines and Marauders.
Sometimes he uses that warp gate to warp in a queen. I'm like, what?
And then he larva injects his depot.
Yeah.
And out of all of those larvae, he makes interceptors.
Oh my god.
It's pretty sick, man.
It's pretty impressive.
He doesn't do that often, though, because interceptors are terrible.
They are terrible.
They just died.
I had to pay for these things that Marines just kill. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
First scouting SCV here for MVP, moving out now.
Interceptors should cost 1 mineral, Tasteless, I've decided.
They should be free.
Why not just have them cost 1 mineral? See if people start using carriers. Try it.
Oh. Don't forget about game number 1.
Yep. It's going to have to be really on top of this. No, that drone needs to go back around. You got to be careful, man, because if he jumps to the other side, you've got to be hitting that drone, that SCV nonstop. In a situation like this, you send down 1 drone for each side so you can constantly attack the SCV, and that thing will never finish. But NesTea is running around the mineral patch nonstop trying to hit him.
This looks like the way you'd stop a bunker rush in StarCraft 1.
Yeah, it just does not work like this here. So this...
Oh!
NesTea's
like, Zerglings, what are those things?
He's apparently one of the Harlem Globetrotters.
I don't get it, man.
Drones are dribbling basketballs in between their legs. Their flappy drone wings.
They use their drone wings and stuff. They alley-oop the ball through the hoop.
That's it, man.
Oh, man. Well, I really thought that at least NesTea would lose a drone or two, or maybe a Marine would get in the bunker and it would be annoying. But nope.
Well, Hellions are on the way. No speed yet for NesTea. He's mining his gas. Getting a spine crawler. Looks like it's going to transition into something very normal here. Of course, this is a pretty good map for Hellion harassment, so NesTea's going to have to be on the ball. But very much like a trick seal at SeaWorld, he can stay on that ball all day long as you give him fish.
Yeah, man. Or in this case, instead of fish, because it's him, it's money. He's loaded.
NesTea loves raw fish. Just eat some scales and all.
All right, the spine crawler's done. Really no damage being done to NesTea so far. NesTea getting a second spine crawler saying, well, I've experienced this during our little match. And getting a roach warren.
Yeah, roach warren before any speed.
His queen should have enough HP that he can hold this off with ease while that spine crawler gets its roots into the creep.
Yeah. Well, NesTea doesn't know this yet, Tasteless, but another command center is being made at the third base from MVP. He's actually just taking a third, building it right out there, showing it off to the world. But it's hard to scout right now for NesTea.
Yeah.
No speed, and his Lings can't really do that. So, really clever by MVP. In fact, that's so clever because he has the Hellions. So, NesTea just making some defensive roaches while going lair. He might not scout that for a very long time. We don't know.
Yeah, NesTea could be in a lot of trouble, guys.
Nice scan going down.
He does, yes. He does see the lair. It's coming there. 2 more extractors, so this looks a lot like it's going to be some kind of heavy tech build. And the question is, will the heavy tech be strong enough to destroy a Terran who opted to take a third base?
Well, we do have 2 factory Hellions again, and he's going to go into bio after this because he is making more barracks. Drops on the way.
Oh, you know what? Actually, a drop would be good against this build.
Yeah,
it's unexpected and it's very StarCraft 1-esque, and it could be very good.
Definitely could be. Spine crawler headbutting that Hellion. This is actually really exciting because, excuse me, I'm so sorry. When NesTea figures out what's going on, he's going to have a limited amount of time, but that he has to deal damage because, I mean, eventually that command center is going to pay itself off, and MVP's just going to start getting huge at a rate that MVP doesn't expect.
With mules and everything else like that, yeah it's going to get out of control.
It is. So we're going to have to see how NesTea ends up actually dealing with this. He's making a ton of roaches. He has all his overlords converging on the same location so he can drop. But siege tanks are on the way, and so are some marauders. I mean, he has a decent amount of marauders. He's making more marauders with stim. And marauders with stim against roaches, it's like this funny battle where all the roaches die.
Yeah. Now, if it's just Marines and siege tanks are just not as great against roaches. The roaches just go in there and kill stuff. But with marauders, that's another story.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot harder. So NesTea, his speed and drop is going to finish at a similar time. The roach speed should finish as he's dropping off in the main base of MVP. Everything's timed out very, very well here. He's timed out all these upgrades like amazingly. Actually.
What's amazing about this actually is that he actually thinks that there's only 2 bases here for the Terran.
If only he had some units over there to harass that third.
All right, here we go. He's got to be careful not to have the Overlord shot down.
Oh, man. MVP actually leaving his base at this exact second.
Oh, my God. And he didn't even notice the blip on the minimap.
No, he did not. And here we go. But stemming and running in. Uh-oh, NesTea. Dropping roaches all over this army. That's going to help out against siege tanks. But does he have enough here? The SCVs are coming out, Tasteless. Takes down a siege tank, and he might want to get out of here. In fact, yes, he does. Time to escape.
Meanwhile, the third base under attack by Hellions, not yet complete. It's going to be pretty hard for those Hellions to actually destroy those buildings, but at the same time, if NesTea's going to keep dropping over and over and over again, it's going to be difficult to have units get up there in time. Now roaches come up there, destroy those Hellions.
Ooh, that's really good for NesTea. I do want to point out, 13 SCVs lost their lives this day, Tasteless, on the day of this drop. That is pretty big. You know, that really resets basically what's happened at the third base.
And now he's going to be able to drop yet again. The question is, will MVP actually be able to send any more Hellions or anything else out there to attack that base?
I don't think so.
I don't think he can. I think he has to stay home.
Don't forget, no medevacs are out, so stimming these units again can be painful. And here we go, leading with empty overlords. Very well done by NesTea. Roaches are dropping out. There is some tank with siege mode there. And in come the units of MVP. They have no upgrades yet. Neither do the roaches, other than speed, of course.
Could at least go over this engineering bay down here. The depot a little bit easier to get. Oh my god, this is so good by NesTea. All right, he stims and moves in. The roaches say,
And I love the creep dropping there. Even if his overlords get sent away, a momentary creep really does help him. And he's going to have to get out of there with his overlords.
In fact, the Marauders are just too strong right now.
Yeah, looks like he will clean that up. But he's got 60 drones against 41 SCVs, so his economy's still pretty good, but that third command center is really helping out. NesTea, I believe, still has, he still has no idea about it. If he thinks it's two base, then, I mean, that's not good. Not for our Zerg player.
Yeah, I wish he could just see, because I think right now he's like, all right, good, I got my third up, you're probably just about to land yours, but it's actually just like not the case at all.
Well, we have 8 mutas on the way. And that little army is going to be really good against roaches, but guess what? If he goes right now, Ling Muta against that, he's going to actually crush it. It's a lot of Marauders in there.
Don't forget, guys, no medevacs
as well. Yeah,
no medevacs, so it's not like when we normally see mutas being engaged.
That's right.
Again,
if there's no healing going on, it becomes much, much worse. But MVP actually turned around.
Damn, MVP is smart.
Yeah, he really is. He just feels things tasteless. Both of them do.
So 118
is his whole body is made out of fingertips tasteless.
Yeah, man. So yeah, burrowing 2 spine crawlers now.
NesTea can read Braille with his butt.
Dude, NesTea is so good. All right, now he's moving up here again. I'm not sure if he just wants to try to clear out overlords here.
NesTea's still not using his mutas, but we do have a drop in NesTea's main base. Ooh, I like this. Double-pronged attack going on right now.
Uh-oh, he should not be doing this over here. MVP is going to get chased out. And that's just too much stuff.
NesTea not really taking too much damage anywhere right now. The supplies very close. NesTea up by about 15 right now, 122 to 107. 55 SCVs against what will soon be 85 drones.
Wow.
In just a moment. NesTea is getting pretty big, but it is 3-base.
MVP, though, initially was very cautious against drops. Now it looks like he might be gearing up for a timing push. Oh, excuse me, he just sieges up his tanks there.
You know, at this point, I would love, because MVP's being really smart. He's making a lot of turrets. He's stifling them. He doesn't want mutilous harassment to really be an issue, but there's still drops. And if you just drop a little group of Lings in there, you're going to take out a lot of turrets. You're going to really annoy MVP. So moves like that would be quite refreshing from NesTea right now.
We do checking the mutilus count from Artosis.
I would love to taste this at 13 with 2 more on the way.
13 mutas. All right. NesTea getting ready for a drop defense here and taking a 4th base. I think NesTea has just now figured out about the hidden base. Can you just check on his vision? He actually knows about it, right?
He does know about it.
He grazed an overlord by there.
Little does he know it's been mined from a lot more than he would have hoped. And he's going to go for it, Tasteless.
Yep, this base, which has basically no defense.
Yeah, just has 1 turret on the side, but one Marine being stimmed up. Very smart by MVP. Chasing that out.
Overstimming.
Yep. That's the way we did it in the Brood War days, Tasteless.
Smart.
Stim that front Marine, try to scare him out first. You stim the rest if you have to.
And here comes the drop now into the expansion hatchery for NesTea, excuse me.
And we do have a lot of roaches and banes going this way. He might be able to actually save this. Yeah, it looks like he will, in fact. It's going to be a little bit damaged, so he's going to have to watch out.
Oh my god, he wasn't paying attention.
No, he was not.
He's like, oh, all right.
And a big push from MVP, Tasteless.
This is probably his most important attack that we're going to see so far, guys. It involves
NesTea is maxed out, though.
All right, he's sweating up the siege tanks. There does not seem to be a ton of Marines in this army, actually.
Yeah. This is, I mean, it's a strong army, but that is a big flock of mutas for the amount of Marines we see in here. Luckily, he does have a Thor, so the mutas can't just completely destroy the push all alone.
All right, he is making so many banelings.
Man.
It may all boil down to this one battle, guys.
Picking off whatever he can. Just non-stop units coming in for NesTea.
Nice, baiting out a stem, and he says, see you later. Another Thor, more Marines moving up here. Banelings starting, Spine Crawlers being set up here. Don't forget, NesTea, is actually now on 4 bases, where MVP is still on 3. Although now that I say
that, here we go! He's just going for it. A ton of Banelings coming in, magic boxing the Thor in the meantime. Uh-oh, tasteless. The Marines, a nice clump of them do live in. Oh, a bunch of mutas are taken out.
NesTea.
Suddenly he has a supply deficit.
178 to 170. NesTea not in the lead here. More Banelings on the way, though. And don't forget, he did get that Thor, which makes the Marines a lot less of a threat. All right, he needs to start target fighting these siege tanks down, and he does. Nice.
Getting one is huge. If you can get another couple, that'll be gigantical. That is not too many Marines, but too many Marines are on the way. If he were to hit right this second, he might be able to break it. But as is, this push is getting just too scary. Beautiful draw. Mutas coming over to clean up, but this means he will lose some mutas, unfortunately.
Actually,
only
not losing
one, actually.
Yeah. Well, the gold base has been taken. MVP is closing in. He's landing mules now at the gold base.
Yep. That's pretty huge. He's going to keep his macro going.
He's now, NesTea's going to try to cut off reinforcements. This is a pretty scary siege tank line. I think if he actually came in from behind with the mutas and actually hit some of the siege tanks.
Oh!
Whoa. Losing way too much back there.
Yeah, in fact, 185 to 200 supply. NesTea having a hard time maxing out again. His mutalist count has dropped significantly. He's at only 11 with 2 more on the way. A lot of Banelings and Zerglings, but 2-2 upgrades against 1-1. With this many siege tanks out there, he's got 10 tanks sieged up. No way Banes are doing anything against that. This is really looking like an MVP victory, Tasteless.
Oh, I hope that NesTea can win, but honestly, it's going to be pretty tough. Look, NesTea is actually just continuously making more and more Banelings now. He's
actually going to try to erase the map with Banelings and then just power through. That's actually his strategy right here.
All right, the Banelings are done. I would assume he has to attack now. I mean, you can't really wait any longer than this. And
the flank is incoming, Tasteless.
The flank.
And here we go. Huge flank coming, and really, I
don't know, man.
Yeah, it looks
that's
like
actually too much of everything that's good for Terran, and that should be GG.
Yeah, it looks like MVP will be able to take this game, Tasteless.
Oh, man. Well, this game has actually been so impressive, but look, MVP did play better. He was the better player. They're so good, they're so even, but at the end of the day, he wins 3 games and NesTea wins 2.
That is what it's looking like, man. He's down over 60 supply. Not much else that can be done here.
Yeah. Man, MVP. Such a scary Terran.
Yeah. NesTea still making lings, trying to figure out if there is, in fact, some way to come back. Unfortunately, with that gold-based mining, even though MVP is almost mined out everywhere else, the income is too much. He's lost another base. This one going down as well. GG. MVP takes out NesTea 3-2 in the epic match of superhero titans from the future, from the past.
Dude, these guys actually make, Superman, Batman, The Flash. These guys are just not as good or as cool as these guys.
You know that song, like The Greatest Battle in the World, where all the superheroes fight each other?
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is at the end of it, actually, NesTea and MVP just punch everyone and they all die.
I believe it, man.
It's not actually Mr. Rogers in a blood-soaked vest. It's not the winner. It's actually NesTea and MVP. Notice that no hard feelings.
Yeah, they're both good friends.
You're like, we just played the best game ever played. You're going to win this so easy. He's like, yeah, man, that money's going in my pocket. And I just pointed 2 down there. And she's like, you better bring me out. Better pay for some drinks.
And of course he will. That was
sick.
Just so good.
And there's another best of 5 today.
I've been casting a lot of really good games with you lately.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
TVZ at this point has gotten to
it's
this
really
level
developed.
where it is so unbelievably figured out. People really know what they're doing, which makes for these amazing, long, intense games.
Yeah, it's true. I've learned so much when I watch these 2 guys play. I love how MVP just keeps those siege tanks in the territory of the Zerg. The Zerg has no other option but to try to attack.
Yeah.
If he tries to counterattack, the Terran's closer. Terran just unsieges, goes in there.
It's pretty sick, man. NesTea almost had it broken a few times.
I think if NesTea had spotted that third base,
well, yeah, the whole game would have definitely been different.
it would have changed
you know?
his decision-making.
He's going to actually, you know what's happening right now? Like, they just laugh together and stuff, then they go in the back room, and MVP's like, J-Duck. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I took my third before my natural, and NesTea went,
oh, dude, I would too. All right. Guys, those games are so awesome. Please tell your friends to watch them. We'll be back with our second half of today's games coming up soon here, Terran versus Terran here at the GSL Code S.